trends come and they go, and sometimes they take our money with them. You know, we waste it on trendy items. Today I'm going to talk about 10 trendy items that I am not going to be buying. Before we get started, if you are new here, my name is Jennifer, and on this channel I talk about saving money and living a simple life. I'm also documenting our journey to paying off our house by the year of 2024 and ultimately being financially independent. So if any of that interests you, make sure you click on that subscribe button. Now, just because I am not buying these trendy items, that does not mean that you shouldn't. There are likely some of these trendy items that you may actually already own, and that is fine. There are probably some things that I have that you might consider trendy that you will never buy. That's okay. We're all entitled to our own opinion and to what we think we want to bring into our lives. It's all going to be different. I'm not saying any of these things are bad. I'm just saying I'm just personally not going to buy them. Number one is hard seltzer. What is that? You know, the little canned drink that, you know, comes like the Trulies or what are the rest of them? The White Claws. They're all fruity and bubbly, and it's like the thing the cool kids do nowadays. I remember we were at a wedding several years ago, and I saw one for the first time, and I thought, what's a White Claw? So I saw some people drinking it, and I remember tasting it one time and thought, well, that's disgusting. And it's an alcoholic beverage if you don't know, but it apparently is a thing and it's trendy and I think it's disgusting, and that's just me. I don't like seltzer water. It's, you know, it's almost to me. You've seen the commercials with like the glass of water and they put the Alka-Seltzer and it goes, psst, you know, it's all bubbly. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Number two is cryptocurrency. The amount of robotic or even just, I don't know, spammers that try to put crypto links in my comment section is annoying. And every single time I see them, I delete it. It's really, really annoying. The thing about, if you want to buy cryptocurrency, go ahead. I'm not there yet. Maybe I'm not a cool kid. I'm not so sure some currency that you can't actually see, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. I know people have made money off of it. It's like a big thing, but there have been a ton of scams on it as well. So I'm just not going to get involved. If you want to buy cryptocurrency, go ahead. If you are interested in trying to sell people cryptocurrency, don't post it in my comments. Just don't go there. Okay, you may have one of these. You very well could. They are the vertical welcome signs that everybody has now posted by their front door. You know, the wooden signs are about 4 foot tall. I'll try to post a picture here. They are everywhere here. Everywhere. They're, you know, talking about the sign with, it's like the welcome letters are a little bit raised off of the wood. It's kind of farm country chic. Everybody has one. I'm not a fan. I mean, some of them look cute, yeah. But when I drive by a community and there's welcome, 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 when everybody has one, that's when I go, yeah, I'm good. Can I get one? And I actually did go on Etsy to try to see if I could get one that says no soliciting. Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, or, you know, if you're really antisocial, you could get one that says unwelcome. That would be fun too. So if you could find one of those for me, that would be interesting. Especially like for Halloween, put one that says unwelcome. I don't know. That'd be kind of creepy. That would be interesting. But if you have one of these, go ahead. Again, sometimes they're really cute, but when you get in a neighborhood and every single house has one, that's when I think the trend has just gone a little too far. The next one are Teslas or electric cars. Okay, if you want a Tesla or an electric car and it fits within your lifestyle, go ahead. Hey, those things look really freaking cool. They're really, really expensive. And yes, when there's a gas shortage, y'all could still get places. However, I remember there was one YouTuber and they bought one and they tried to drive from northern Utah to southern Utah and they couldn't make it all the way, because it's not good long distance. They had to wait at the power stations for like 4 to 5 hours, whereas if you just stopped to get gas, it would have been 5 minutes. I understand the political with the gas and the electric. I understand I get it. But right now, if you have to drive long distance, as far as time and money, I'm not there yet. I don't think that the technology is where it needs to be yet for me to invest in that type of a vehicle. Just me. The next one are high-waisted mom jeans. No, thank you. Now, I also will not go back to the ultra low rise. You know, who remembers the ultra low rise? This was circa like late 90s, early 2000s. How low could you go? That's what the jeans were. Now I look on websites for jeans and it's ultra high rise. Well, at this point, is this ultra high rise? Like, am I wearing it under my armpits? Because I've put on some of those high rise jeans, and I'm sorry, anything above my belly button cuts into my rib cage, and I'm not trying to go back to circa 1800 and wear a corset, because that's what it feels like. So you can keep your high-waisted mom jeans. Now, if you like them, if you look good in them, go ahead, do your thing, whatever. But personally, they make your butt look long, right? Because they've taken the top of your rear end and they've brought it all the way up to your armpit, basically. Okay, I am not buying a phone for my wrist. I am not buying an iWatch or whatever equivalent there is for Android. I know a lot of you have them, and that's great, but I already have this thing glued to my face. I don't need it glued to my wrist too. I mean, and I'm talking about the cell phone, you know, it's in my face all the time because that's just where we are today as a society. If you're in a business where you need to be constantly connected, sorry for you. Or maybe you're a younger person and it's cool. I can see that. But at this stage in my life, I need to be as disconnected as possible for my sanity. And having something right here in my face, you know, while I'm eating, you know, trying to eat mindfully or writing or trying to work while this thing keeps going off, I don't need that constant connection. The next one are single stocks. You know, single stocks in certain companies. I already don't get into the stock market a lot. Like, my husband is really, really interested in that stuff, but we do diversified. We, you know, do a lot of diversified funds. It's like putting your, you know, the old adage, putting all your eggs in one basket. I prefer not to. And a lot of people like to do those apps now where they trade things back and forth. If you're into that, go ahead. I personally think that's just like gambling, and you win some, you lose some. In the end, how much are you really making? If you end up making a lot, then you're going to be tempted to do more, which again, just like gambling, and possibly end up losing more than you ever made. So, no. The next one are high-waisted bikinis. You know, the two pieces. Yeah, that was cool back in like, what, the 60s? When were those things invented? But now I see the high-waisted bikinis, and I just went to the beach. Personally, I don't think they're flattering. I get the point, ladies. Hey, I've had a kid. The skin didn't go back to where it was supposed to. And yeah, the high-waisted bikini might hold in a little bit more. But personally, there are some darn good-looking one-pieces that don't cut you off the way a high-waisted bikini would. And again, same thing with the mom jean, like the high-waisted pants. It makes your butt look like really huge. And then what it oftentimes does is it'll cut in and make rimples and such where it shouldn't. There are some people certainly that look good in high-waisted bikinis, but you know what, ladies? If you're going to wear a two-piece, go for it. Wear the full two-piece. Own that. The next one is something that's been big for a while, but I think, and I may go off on a tangent here, investment properties. We don't have investment properties, and that is one of the things that all of the gurus tell you that you need to buy in order to have passive income, to have income coming in, you know, when you retire. Well, how's that working out for you right now? I was watching the news this morning, and it said something like 700,000 people, and it was focusing on New York, had not paid their rent that were not up to date on their rent. And what people don't realize is, yes, there was a moratorium put on evictions where you couldn't evict people, and I've been in property management. Let me tell you that first as well. It takes a long time to actually get to eviction through the court process. But right now there's a moratorium on evictions, and I am fully aware of there are a lot of people in situations where they just can't pay rent. Their jobs didn't come back. They aren't financially in a situation. And yes, we don't want them put out on the streets. However, what is actually happening, the majority, not all, the majority are sitting at home, collecting money, and just not paying the rent. There are stories of them, the renters, the landlords saying the renters, there's a brand new boat in the driveway with a truck to pull it on. These people didn't lose their jobs, and they're just packing away the cash and buying whatever they want and living rent free. And they do not care that at the end of this, they're going to owe all of this money. They're just going to let it go. I've seen a plenty in my lifetime of being in all ways of this real estate industry. People just don't care. The landlords are getting stuck. The landlords still have to pay their mortgage. Yes, they could have gotten a moratorium for their mortgage, but when that comes due, it's going to come due in full. If maybe your mortgage was, I don't know, you have 3 rental properties, it's $5,000 a month, and you've had a moratorium for 10 months, that's 50 grand plus whatever that's going to come due all at once. But they haven't been able to collect the rent. They've still been paying the property taxes on it. They've still been paying the insurance on it. They've still been paying to maintain that home, which they are responsible to do. If the refrigerator goes out, if the air conditioning goes out, if their roof starts leaking, they are still legally bound to take care of that home. But the people living in it, who are likely, again, majority, not all, still working, are not actually paying a dime. Now, there are plenty of wonderful renters out there who are, and who are great people. I am specifically talking about the people who are putting landlords, people who own investment property, who are stuck like Chuck right now. And they don't want to evict people. They just want to collect their rent. They don't want to have to go out and find somebody new. They're not trying to be mean, but you know what? If you still have a job and you haven't lost anything during this time, and you just deliberately aren't paying your rent because there's a moratorium on it, and there's absolutely no reason for you not to, then shame on you. Karma is a B. But what I'm pointing at right now is a vulnerability in this trend of investment properties. This is a huge vulnerability. And when you were looking at riskiness with your 401k and investments and stocks, you look at that kind of a thing, right? So with the investment properties, you just have to realize that if you're investing in a property and you owe a mortgage on it and it's not paid for, or you're depending upon that income in order to pay your bills, you might be in a pickle. And the last one are bodysuits. What is a bodysuit? You know what I'm talking about? Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. The bodysuits where you gotta snap it at the bottom, or you gotta take it all the way off like it's a bathing suit. And the whole point of it is to make it look really slimming, and as if your shirt was tucked in really tight and it was a fitted shirt and it doesn't come out. There are some people who can make these things look great. You know what? I'm not buying them. Why? Well, see, I had a kid about 4 years ago, and, as much as I wanted it to, the skin didn't necessarily go back to where it needed to. So what typically happens, and I still work out, but things just aren't in the same place that they used to be. Personally, if you put on a bodysuit and you sit down, it might look a little strange. Plus, how uncomfortable. I mean, Bathing suits are a pain in the first place, and they should all come with snaps at the bottom so we could easily go to the bathroom. Do you know how difficult and painful it is to take off a wet bathing suit, one piece, every single time you need to go to the bathroom and try to pull that thing back up and put things where they needed to go? Not fun. A bodysuit's the same way. I mean, honestly, for me, fashion is more about comfort and looking, clean. I am not concerned about looking high fashion, trendy. It's just not a thing because nobody else cares. I'm currently going back into an office environment, meaning I'm changing jobs. If anybody wants to know more about that, I'm happy to go into it. It was a surprise thing, not something I planned, but an amazing opportunity. And I currently am in a job where I'm by myself, and I can wear, sweatpants and a shirt or leggings and a shirt. And I'm currently having to refresh and look at what I have for office attire. And honestly, guys, I am having the hardest time because I'm going on websites and all I'm seeing are these high-waisted pants, high-waisted jeans, these crop tops, these leotard one-piece things. No, none of that, please. Can I just find some cute, colorful, comfortable, not just plain, boxy. Everything's boxy too, and I'm not trying to look like a box. I'm a woman. I'm shaped like this. A t-shirt or a crop top or a shirt that looks like this ain't gonna look cute. I'm not SpongeBob SquarePants, right? Oh gosh, another tangent. Anyway, I am not buying bodysuits, and I am not buying high-waisted jeans, and I'm not buying into these crop tops. I am not trying to bring back the 90s. So those are the 10 trendy items I am not buying. I am interested to know in what you are not buying. What are some trendy items you are not buying and why? Put them in the comments below. I would love to do a follow-up video on your comments, the trendy items that you are not buying and why. I think that would be extremely interesting, especially if it's something that I do buy but it's still trendy and you don't, and I think we could have a fun conversation. So put that down in the comments below. Again, please don't take offense to any of this if you have something or it works for you. These are all just my personal opinions, and I thought this would be a fun video, and maybe you agree with me on some of these things. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you back for more videos.